Hello everyone, I hope that you're doing well. Thank you for tuning in because this is an experiment. This is going to be my reaction to My Hero Academia Season 6, Episode 4. Twice died last episode, and it was really sad. And now Hawks has to deal with Dabi, who is probably, figured out by now that he's been duped and that Twice is dead. I'm not sure how Dabi will react because I've never really seen him be emotional towards anyone in the League of Villains, but he did high five Twice, so maybe it's for that reason, but something in me just doubts it. And also for those of you who watch my previous videos, you guys have probably picked up that I tend to be a fan of blue. Well, I went out of my way to dig this thing out of my drawer, just so you guys know who I'm rooting for. Without further ado, let's get into this.
Hawks.
Oh, that's a cool way to start it. I know, I absolutely love his quirk. It's so versatile, he's amazing. But why are we doing this? Like, we know what his quirk is.
Power,
Like the perfect spy, you know? Tokoyami, what are you seeing? You fly faster than it. You fly away from it. Yeah. But it's Dabi, like the most unpredictable villain in the League of Villains. Oh my gosh. I'm very, very glad that they're doing this. That they know that they're students and still newbies. And they're not going to have them be there for like the actual fighting, you know. They're still heroes themselves. I like this. So creepy. Scary, but not creepy. Sadness. It seems like everything in the intro that mentions Hawks is just him killing Twice. It doesn't say anything after that. If Dabi doesn't kill Hawks, I think he's going to put him out of the fight. And I know that Hawks ain't gonna die. Well, he can't. I refuse to let that happen. Wow. Emotional. Emotional. Interesting. Yeah, he's in trouble. They're blue. I think they're stronger than Endeavors at any one time. Yeah, good question. Ah, it's not about him. Oh, okay, please, by all means. Yeah, let's address this, please. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You really should have. I mean, he's terrifying. I'm sorry. That sounds like... God, you're creepy, even more creepy than usual. A true follower of Stain. A real one. Gosh, yeah, who remembers this? Okay, his emotions are all messed up. That's the answer. His emotions are just all over the place. Inheritance? Oh, why do I get the feeling that means more than you think it means? Like, that could mean Deku, that could mean Shigaraki, that could mean other people. Dabi said that without Twice's quirk, his dream was less of a reality. What does that mean? Oh, there's the scene in the trailer. Oh, there's a second mouth. Please do that, yes. That's like the worst kind of zombie. Like, yeah, you might be fast, but you're fighting all of them at once. They're just learning, aren't they? What are you about to do? Oh, just run right past them. Just go after Garaki. Oh, okay. For a second, I thought her arm was like clean off. Oh my gosh! Yeah, finish the mission. Oh, there's a purple light. She's like Hawks, just driven for one goal. Oh my gosh. Endeavor. Okay, either Shigaraki wakes up right here, or I don't see the heroes winning this. I really don't. Yeah, that's it. Endeavor is amazing. Present Mike. Oh my gosh. Shigaraki. 74%. Oh, she's not listening to you. Your quirks. Is she identifying all of them? Okay. Yeah, this one learns. This one is smart. Like really smart. What the? Who is this woman? Yeah, it is. It's smart. Come on, Mirko. Did that do it? Okay. Alright, she broke it. Great. Okay, maybe not completely. He caught her. That's nice. Oh wow. He just says Barrett. I'm glad he can do that. Oh no. Oh. Oh? Don't wake him up. I don't know what, I think Xless might have like a laser eye. Mike has his voice. Those are both ranged attacks. That's good, because she's jumping around all over the place. Oh my gosh. What if that was keeping him asleep? Maybe not? Oh my gosh. Mike might kill him. Mike might kill him. I love how it's called DJ Punch. Yeah, real. Now kill him. No, I'm kidding. Why are you spilling stuff? You're stupid. Oh, I'm sorry. Of the Lord of Evil, my gosh. The Dark Lord. Oh, I wonder if in English dub they're gonna call him the Dark Lord. Oh, what's about to happen? Okay. You. I see. So 70 years ago is when he joined All for One. Okay, back it down a bit. Okay, so for 200 years, give or take. So it's not immortality. So he can make copies of quirks. Can All for One do that? Oh my gosh. A little bit, yeah. You're not wrong, Mike. You're really not wrong. Wait, this isn't. Wow. Wow, a real smile. Yeah. He's like, I'll kill you no matter what. Interesting. That's kind of like One for All, and what's happening inside One for All. Yeah, we kind of figured that out by now. Here, like within his subconsciousness. Okay, the fact that Nana's there is interesting here. Oh no. Oh no! You should have killed him. You should have killed him. I think I've just figured something out about One for All.
事態が一変していることに
Oh, I think Exless is gonna die.
破滅のボルテージ
Oh no. He's actually gonna start destroying stuff. So now we've got a problem. I don't know what I'm gonna make my thumbnail for this. Because I thought that this battle was gonna stretch on the entire episode. Hawks is like hurt bad. Oh no. Dabi has a scary face. I think I've just sort of come to accept that. How rude my tear ducts were burned up. Okay, I am just as far away from receiving answers as I was when I saw that trailer. The three villains that joined the League of Villains in the wake of Stain were Spinner, Dabi, and Toga. Toga was in it for the aesthetic. She was literally like I want to be like Mr. Stain. He likes blood, I like blood. Like she was kind of a groupie, which isn't really the same as somebody who takes somebody's ideas into practice. They just admire somebody very much. They could take things into practice, but I don't see Toga as somebody who'd do that. Yes, she wants a world where everybody can be happy, but that's not technically the same as wanting a world where all of the heroes are right. Where like heroism isn't a bad thing, according to Stain. And then there's Spinner, who also is a groupie. But at least his line of thinking is on the same sort of wavelength as Stain's. He wanted to, like, when he saw Stain on TV, he was like, I want to see a world like that. Does that technically mean that he'll go out of his way to carry on Stain's will? No, I don't think so. But Dabi, maybe it's just because of how weird Dabi is, or just how different he is. But I believed him when he said that all of the heroes are fakes. I was like, well, see, that sounds like Stain. Straight from the horse's mouth. That's definitely Stain. I guess my inner suspicions were confirmed that Dabi wasn't angry that Twice died. Dabi was angry that his plan, or his dream, is now farther away from coming true because of Twice's death. Which makes me think that Twice's plan, or like Twice's quirk, was somehow integral to Dabi's goal, which makes me wonder, like, what is Dabi's goal? Did he want Twice to make a bunch of him so he can go out and like himself be an army against the heroes? Maybe it was Hawks, maybe it was Dabi, it was one of them talking about an obsession with one person. And I'm pretty sure that person is Endeavor. I mean, the fact that Dabi knows Hawks' real name, that could mean anything. I mean, Hawks said, like, you and Shigaraki, nobody could find out who you were. And that's, I mean, for one thing, Shigaraki is Shimura Tenko, the grandson of Nana Shimura, which we'll get to that in a second. I mean, for all we know, Shimura Tenko had been confirmed dead or something. Is Dabi similar, or is he just really good at hiding from the government? Obsessed with one person. Endeavor. It is Endeavor, okay? I've watched the ending. There's literally like a moment where he puts his hand on the wall and there's a poster of Endeavor and he burns it up. At any one time, Dabi's flames are hotter than Endeavor's. I am almost certain of that. Because if you recall, in the fight between the first High-End Nomu and Endeavor, Hawks did lend a hand despite the fact that his feathers were cinders. He managed to like push his feathers into Endeavor's back and like propel him forward, even though his flames were burning Hawks' feathers. Here, Hawks' feathers couldn't do anything, which makes me think that Dabi just cinderized them before Hawks even got the chance to fight back or react or do anything. Gosh, that like deranged look just sent chills through me, but not as much as the end scene. I feel like that might be my thumbnail. Oh my gosh! Of course, Shigaraki would say like, oh, you look like Kurogiri Master, but we've seen that before. We've seen that before in the Vestige world, like the weird world of One for All. And I mean, technically, All for One gave One for All Prime a quirk, the One for All quirk. And I mean, I don't know if All for One collected that from somewhere, that All for One gave One for All like a part of his own quirk somehow. It's a stockpiling quirk. That's what it is. It's a super special stockpiling quirk, like a 1 in a million stockpiling quirk. Now that I saw All for One in that weird world, a question has been answered. All for One works the same as One for All. From what I've seen, like Shigaraki's in this weird coma world, which was beautiful, by the way. There was one panel in that I did see from the manga, and it was the panel of like all of Shigaraki's family, like with their hands where his hands were, and Nana Shimura's hand here. I didn't know what it meant, but now it makes sense. It's like parts of his subconsciousness that were holding him back, according to All for One's plan, until the time was right. So did Shigaraki have the All for One quirk that entire time, and it was just in his subconsciousness and he couldn't use it? Or, I mean, it probably happened while Garaki had him in the tube. but still. It was the presence of Nana Shimura there that made me think that All for One and One for All might be connected more than we've been led to think. Of course, like, Tenko Shimura, I think, like, deep down inside knew that he was the grandson of Nana Shimura. He didn't forget that entirely. So when she put her hand on his head there, she was probably just a memory, just like all of the others. But just seeing All for One's like smoky form, just like all of the other vestiges within One for All, makes me think that could that have been the actual Nana Shimura from like the vestige world of One for All? Of course, I know she's not dead because Deku still has the One for All quirk, and they're all sort of residing in there. It's a far off guess. I don't know, but it could be true. Yeah, I mean, what can I say about the Nomu? It turns out Kyudai Garaki is a lot more pivotal to the story than I thought. He is a disgusting person. Mike has slowly realized that he doesn't want anything to do with him. Mike is the absolute best. I can't wait to hear these just screams of anger and vengeance from Present Mike's English voice actor once the episode comes out. I'm so excited. I knew that like most of the spoilers that I receive from MHA are from the war arc. I will say that. But all that I knew about the Nomu is that there was one female Nomu, and that a bunch of people thought that Nana Shimura somehow was used to make this Nomu. Again, I don't see any evidence of that. Again, like, they were all created using villains that love to fight, so Nana Shimura can't be among them. I'm pretty sure it was mentioned before, but what is her quirk again? I feel like I know what it is, but if it hasn't been mentioned in the anime, I honestly can't remember. I'm not gonna say it aloud because I potentially don't want to spoil somebody, but I'm not 100% sure. I am gonna go back to the Dabi versus Hawks fight just for a second, because it seems like Dabi revealed his identity to Twice, and Hawks was just like completely spooked, which means that it must be a name that Hawks knows in some way. There was a panel in the manga that has Dabi revealing who he is, but it's one gigantic speech bubble that's just black, which means that, like, first of all, it's a gigantic speech bubble. It took up like half the panel, which means I don't know, like, if it was a smaller black bubble, then it wouldn't matter too much to me. But the fact that it was so big made me think, okay, we're supposed to know who he is. Like, we're supposed to know who he is, or if we're not supposed to know who he is, the heroes know who he is. I'm going by Dabi. Isn't that how he introduced himself? And Shigaraki was like, no, give me your real name. And then they all started fighting. My tear glands were burned, he said. It brings up this feeling of like, I should feel sorry for him, but I still don't. The fact that Garaki was a renowned academic who published the quirk doomsday theory in a world where quirks were like still sort of beginning to become a thing. He said that society couldn't function without it, meaning that they needed some sort of order to keep the chaos in line, but people still hated the quirk singularity theory so much that he got fired, that he lost his job, that society rejected him, which I thought was interesting, considering the fact that he called Shigaraki a social reject. And then All for One reached out his hand. Okay, like, this is interesting. The fact that he can duplicate quirks, like, I don't know if that's an All for One ability. I feel like it could be. Maybe All for One had a quirk that just duplicated quirks, and that's how they've been using all of this stuff. I love that All for One is still so greedy that he only left the doctor with a duplicate of his own quirk. Come on, man. But that also means that All for One can't technically live forever, only just twice as long as a normal human can. When I first saw his quirk in action, I thought of this one quote from a book, and in that book, people's DNA were sort of like spliced with animal DNA. I remember this interaction happening, like, there's a girl and a woman, and the woman goes, I'm cross-spliced with a Galapagos tortoise, I'm like 104 years old. And the girl goes, funny, because you don't look a day over 105. I love that series, and if anybody got that reference, you're my friend now. Okay. I think that's all. Again, like, don't reject me. Oh gosh. I couldn't tell if that was All for One speaking or if that was Shigaraki speaking. Shigaraki has always sort of been at war with himself. Like, that's why his decay quirk didn't affect as many people at first, was because he was still unconsciously holding himself back. He still, deep down, did not want to hurt anyone. But now, All for One is saying, don't reject me, but it sounded like Shigaraki was saying, don't reject me. So maybe it was All for One saying, like Shigaraki, don't reject me any further. But it could also mean Shigaraki going, I won't be rejected. ever again, which I think I love that a little bit more, especially since it seems like One for All Prime, his last name was Shigaraki too. Alright, so be sure to like and comment and subscribe and ding the bell for notifications. You don't have to, but I am trying to make this a source of income for me, so it'd be super, super cool if you did. Comment below, tell me your theories, tell me literally everything. I will try to find a way to discuss them. That's really all I can say, because a lot happened. They shoved in like Dabi and Hawks, the Nomu, and then at the very, very end, like this Inception Shigaraki scene, which was amazing. So yeah, I'll share my opinions and my theories on them if you want down below. So thank you so much for staying and have a nice day.